Hi, I'm Linda Savage. I'm a clinical therapist, and off camera, Sherry Holt is going to be asking me some questions.
Thanks, Linda. Linda, you and I have been speaking, and you have made a statement that sounds pretty ethereal, that even without words, our spirit says things and speaks to people. Could you expound on that a little bit?
Communication comes from a number of sources, and our bodies, our presence actually communicates things that give people a sense of who a person is. Not just their physical sense, but also their spiritual sense. You could also say a countenance comes with each person, and that countenance speaks. Sometimes you'll notice it with animals. Certain animals will respond to a person in a positive way, or sometimes that animal might pick up on a countenance that they'll be afraid of or angry with. That's true in a sense for people too, that when people come into a room, you either have kind of a resonance or you have a repulsion. Most of it falls in between someplace, and sometimes after you get to know a person, that resonance becomes stronger, or it can also be more negative. So we do carry with us, even without words, a lot of communication.
Don't take offense at this next question, but so what? What's that mean to us?
Well, what's important about that is we are saying something by our presence. For example, if you know an older person that you like, that you've been around, and you found that person to be wise, sometimes that wisdom comes through without even a word being spoken. Even if you don't know someone, you can be attracted across a crowded room, so to speak, and be wanting to be in close proximity because there's something going on in the spiritual realm or in the countenance realm where we're recognizing things in the spiritual realm.
So that becomes very important, maybe for someone who thinks I'm not really making a difference here. Just how does that play out for that person?
Well, what happens is, for example, if a person who appears to be someone that you're attracted to in the spiritual realm, no words, just something's going on where you have a recognition response. Often, as a Christian, things that get communicated, for example, are Christ-like attitudes. That's a little in the area of, well, let's not Christianize everything. But what I'm talking about is there's a positivity, there's a welcoming spirit. I find that if I've spent time with the Lord in the morning, for example, I have a much more attractive kind of spirit, if you will, when I go into work. If I go in hurt, angry, lonely, tired, and overdone, people will kind of stay away. Words don't have to be spoken. It's face, yes, but it's body, attitude. It's something that's very difficult to put words on. There's a welcoming kind of a presence with many people. So what I'm getting after is the idea of a sense of resonance. Sometimes people communicate, let's say, to children. Recently, I held my great-grandniece for over an hour, or around an hour, and she fell asleep on me, 6 weeks old. And her mother, my grandniece, said, "I bet you held us that way when I was little." And I said, "Yes, I did." There's something going on. Now, I know the oxytocin is flowing. That's something that happens around babies. And yet that's discernible. My niece was responding to how I was holding her baby, and also how I was with her husband. Very welcoming, very open. It's difficult to put words on that resonating factor, but it was tender and loving. And sometimes tender and loving gets communicated not only just through face or touch, but there's a presence. Many people feel like they're not impacting their world. And in fact, they really are impacting their world more than they know. often if I'm having a bad day or year, I won't be as giving in my countenance as if I am in a sense of God loves me, I am loved and capable of loving, and I have enough to love you. I don't have to say that when I walk into a room. I often pray when I go out to speak, or if I'm going to visit someone, Lord, please work through me. Please be present with me. I personally am hurt, angry, lonely, or tired. I'm afraid. I don't have much emotional energy. But you do. God, you work through me. You be with me. And first of all, God will comfort me. The first thing that happens is I'll settle into the Lord's love. And then when I go into the presence of others, I don't say, hi, I'm here to love you. I don't have to say anything. And very often older people, by that I mean anybody over 30, will wonder about their impact, let's say, on the youth. But youth are attracted to people who are settled, people who have something to offer. Your body speaks, your presence speaks. It's like when a person dies, that whole realm, spiritual realm, leaves them. Mm-hmm. You see, this is a dead body.
Yeah.
This is not a person. What that thing is our spirit. Now, I'm sure there are many components of that spirit, and we can talk about the Lord's Spirit, our personal spirit, who we are as people, personality, brain, mind, body, spirit. We can talk about all that, but let's simplify it and say, you bring with you a type of presence that is discernible to others.
In the next two parts, we're going to maybe delve into how that nonverbal presence impacts in intimate relationships, like with a husband, wife, or a family member. And then lastly, how can we ensure what we're putting off is what we want others to sense?
Right, and that's going to be a wonderful discussion.
Thanks, Linda.